Good day, viewers. Welcome back to Noel's Garden Tractors and Firewood. And today we have a nice sunny day, but we're back to normal, normal December temperatures. It's just above freezing, I think, today. One little piece of snow up there you can see is left. Boy. Anyway, that's the way it goes in December. You can have snow and you don't have snow, maybe. So it's kind of looking like we're going to have a green Christmas by the weather forecast. So today's video is on the leaking, beeping chainsaw. No, I'm just kidding you. It is still leaking a little bit, but anyway, it's just sitting there. I think you've had enough of the leaking, beeping chainsaw. So I guess today what I'm going to talk about is some of the garden tractors, so there's a bunch of new subscribers, so they may not know what I have here for tractors, or they've seen them, but anyway. What you see here in the garage is only some of them. There are more at my son's place. So I'm going to give you a little overview of them all. And probably some of you that have been watching the channel may not know everything about them either, I guess. So look at that cab over there. It always gets in the video. Anyway, we'll start with this one here. This one has got a little bit of carburetor problems, and I've been teaching you all about this one now for the last 6 months. So someday I'll get to fix it. But it'll start and run, and I can get out with it, but it won't idle, and it doesn't run very good. And I just need to get the motivation to get at it and do something with it. 3 years ago when I bought it, I had all kinds of motivation because it didn't look like that when I bought it. It had a lot of body work done to it. It had the front tires put on it and the rear tires put on it. It certainly didn't look very nice when I got it. Anyway, we'll get her going here someday. So it's a 1982 Case 446. It has an twin-cylinder Onan 16 horsepower engine. I believe it's a BM43, I think. I'll have a look. You can't see what that says, but I think you fellows might be able to see it. Anyway, common engine for that era, I guess, around the 80-82 era. And a lot of tractors used them. I guess Sears had used them too, I think. Anyway, she's a beast when she's running right. The tires are quite big on the back of it compared to a normal garden tractor. And she just looks like a little mini farm tractor in my mind, so that's why I like it. But I gotta get the motivation to fix it. Here we go. So now we have the 1970 John Deere 140H3. It has 3 hydraulic handles, whereas the other model has only one, and it's a 140H1. This one is a 140H3. Now we have a 46-inch snow blower, a hydraulic operated top chute. That's not a factory thing, that's something that I did. Oh, I must say, the case has a 48-inch thrower, and that's the only attachment I have for it. And back to the John Deere. So, yeah, she's a mean machine too. 1970, 14 horsepower, single cylinder Kohler engine. She's got great traction. And something different in 1970, she had a cigarette lighter. And what else does she have? She has split brakes like a farm tractor. So you can unlock them and stop one wheel or the other if you get stuck, and it does work great. Also have a mower deck for it, a 46-inch mower deck. And a heated seat. This is just a John Deere seat cover. I have a heated seat thing that I bought at Princess Auto, and I put it in underneath the seat, so works pretty good. Yeah, I just plug them in. That's the heated seat one. You just plug it into the cigarette lighter, or I plug the other one that's here. Where is it at? Yeah, right there. That's for the flashing light. So we'll move along. 1976 Massey Ferguson 14 horsepower Kohler cylinder engine. And she's a rugged old piece, that one. 2-speed transaxle in it. I'm kind of getting off track here, I guess, but the John Deere has a single speed transaxle, and the case has a 2-speed transaxle. I just kind of have to keep going here, and and I remember other things as I go along, I guess. So this one has a snow plow or dozer blade on the front. We hooked up hydraulics for the angle off of the tractor and used the winch to raise it and lower it. Oh, there's that cab again. Look at that. Yes, we have a mower deck for this one also. Yeah, she's a good old machine, 1976. This one here is a Massey Ferguson 12. When I bought it, it had a rear tiller, a 42-inch mowing deck, and a 36-inch snow thrower on the front. The loader that you see is something that I made. I tried to make it to look like a loader that would be on a 135 Massey Ferguson farm tractor, and they were called a pipe loader, and the number was a number 38 loader. So this one just runs off a winch off the front. It would be nice if it had a hydraulic system, but I don't. So anyway, this has been some handy machine, this. It might lift about 30 pounds, that's about all, but if you lift it up to its height, you can normally set, maybe 50 to 60 pounds in it, and it'll hold it, but it won't lift it. It's just like my portable wheelbarrow, this fella here, but it's gotten into topsoil and rock dust and carrying wood and lots of stuff over the years. We've had it probably 10 years now, I guess. Anyway, all the pipe is just made out of muffler pipe. Got it bent up at a metal muffler shop, and The rest of the stuff I did myself. And it has a trip bucket. You can see the handle there just behind the stack on the end of the loader. And it works about the same way it does on the big tractor, the 135 pipe loader tractor. Kind of comes down and just lets go on the bucket. And you lower it down and it automatically resets. Now, this one is a manual transmission tractor. It has 4 speeds ahead and 1 back, and the first gear is like a granny low. Then over on the side it has a variable belt pulley system. Some of the John Deeres use this system too. So you can position that 1 to 5 in any gear. So you can get 5 or 20 speeds out of it if you really had to. So that's kind of neat. It does work good. This tractor was optioned fairly well when it was new. It had up and down. It had electric lift mounted in there instead of the manual handle. So something must have happened at some point, and the electric lift was removed, but the switch remained. So the switch operates the loader. Now this tractor is a little lighter than the other ones. It's about 100 pounds probably lighter. And it got weight on the back. But it doesn't have the traction that the other ones do. It works all right, but it's not quite as good in the traction field. But it's a great little tractor to use. It has a Tecumseh HH120 engine, single cylinder, 12 horsepower. 1976 tractor. So now we'll move on to Dave at RCA F Polar Express's favorite thing. Oh dear, poor Dave, I'm always teasing him with the cab. Anyway, this tractor is, we believe it to be a 1980. The serial tag is gone off of it, so we can't determine exactly, but these tractors were built from 77 to 83, so I just kind of call it an 83 or 1980. When I bought this tractor 19 years ago, it came with a tiller on the back, a 50-inch mower deck, and a 42-inch snow blower. Now what is on here now is a 42-inch snow thrower. The blower, it had quite a different kind of a system to run the thing in it. Because it was old and wore out, it was always kind of breaking. So I seen this on something for sale, so I snapped it up because there's a lot less moving parts in it. And it works just as good as the blower does. So what else? Oh, this one is a 16 horsepower single cylinder Kohler engine. And she's all hydraulic lift. She has a 2-speed rear axle. And it came with the blower, the mower, the tiller, and the cab. And I have all the manuals for it. And there's chains and ag tires and weight on the back. I wonder if anybody can tell me what that thing is on the back of the tractor that I have the weight in. I'm pretty sure there's some of you know what that is. Anyway, there's a quick overview of 5 garden tractors. Is what I have here in the garage. Over at my son's place, there's 5 more, I think. There's a Massey Ferguson 16, which basically looks the same as the 14, just that it has a 16 horsepower engine, although his tractor does not have a 16 horsepower engine. It was changed over to a 12. But it has a mower deck, and that's what my son uses to cut the grass with. And what else is over there? Oh, there's an LGT 100 Ford tractor. I call it Grunt. It's a 1972. No attachments necessarily for it, but it hauls stuff around. And we do have another tractor over there that is basically identical to this one, but it is a Homelight Textron. From what we can figure out, it's a 1987, but it is identical to this tractor here. But we've had a lot of trouble with engines in it for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, we'll find an engine for it. I'd love to find a 16 horsepower Kohler engine for it. Single cylinder. Yes, everything hooks up the same. It all works the same. The only thing with that Homelight Textron one, it's also painted blue, and you can see the orange paint underneath it. So I don't know whatever was the story with it, but somebody painted the blue over the orange. Could have been done at the factory. It's hard to say. Anyway, the neat thing about that tractor is it has 2 hydraulic ports out the front of it, which is a very rare option for one of these types of tractors. So the 42-inch snow thrower that it has the same hookup as the John Deere here. It operates the top chute. So it also has a mower deck, the one over there that needs an engine. And actually this snow plow came with it when we bought that tractor. Not much else I can tell you about it. It's got the 3 rib tires in the front and the egg tires on the back. Anyway, that poor tractor, it's been fighting us ever since we got it. I guess engines and more engines for some reason. And that's why I've always been looking for an engine. Some of you know that, I think, but anyway. What else do I have over at his place? Oh, I have another Case tractor. I have a 224. It's a 1975. It also has a 14 horsepower Kohler engine. And some of you will know that I used it to split wood this summer. All the wood that was blown down by Hurricane Fiona was split by the Case 224 with my homemade splitter that I didn't make, but it's a homemade splitter. And over here is the mower deck for that case, 224, and the undercarriage. I don't know if you can see that out there or not. Outside through the window, there's the snow blower for snow thrower. It's basically identical to the snow thrower that's on the 446. And it's a great little tractor. It works good. It sat outside for 5 years. The fellow that had it couldn't fix the hydraulic pump went in it, so he couldn't fix it. He couldn't get one, so I knew he had it. I've known of this tractor for a long time too. So 2 years ago I bought it, so thinking that I could get parts off it for this one. Well, that never happened because I ended up making it run. After sitting outside for 5 years, I got the engine running. I loosened up everything that was seized, which was everything on that mower deck. And on the snow blower, everything was seized, chain, everything. And I got it all to run without putting any new parts on it. And it works great. So what else do we have over at my son's place? Now what else is there? There are a few lawn mowers, or should say lawn tractors. There's one in that building there. It's a Sears, I'd say, about a 1980. 11 horsepower, 36-inch cut. It needs belts, but works great, cuts the grass wonderful, and real easy on fuel. And we have a couple of more lawn tractors over at my son's place. And what else do we have? Oh, we have a YT 16H Ford. I call it a garden tractor, but I guess it's really supposed to be a yard tractor. It's a 1990, and it has a twin-cylinder, 16 horsepower Kohler engine. But recently, in the last year or two, the hydrostatic transmission has trouble, so we haven't even started it this year. I put it away last year. Last year we used it, I put it away, and it wouldn't start at the end of the year, so I haven't even tried to start it. So it's been sitting for over a year. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do with that one. What else do we have? Oh, we also have a Massey Ferguson 7. It has 36-inch deck on it, which is right here. I need to do a little bit of work to this one. So it's a smaller version. It's very heavy metal in it, but it's a smaller, like a lawn tractor size, but it's heavy built for its size. What else do we have? Man, that's pretty bad. You don't even know what you have. What? All right, so I don't know if I got them all or not. There's 4 Fords, there's 4 Massey Fergusons, 2 cases, and a John Deere. There's a couple of lawn tractors. Oh, and my son has a Ford 1210 compact tractor. It has a cab on it and a rear snowblower. And it's a dandy little rig. That's 4-wheel drive, locking differential in the rear, foot throttle, 10-speed transmission manual. And she's quite a little machine for 16 horsepower diesel. She'll run the saw bench. She'll run the 6-foot rear finish mower. And it's snow blower. Man, that's for 16 horsepower, she's pretty good. So it has a category 1 3-point hitch on it. So all the things that hook up to the other tractor we have, the 1951 TEA 20 Ferguson tractor. All the attachments that we have for it fit on the little Ford, so the little Ford runs them just as well as the Ferguson does. Oh, I'm cutting a sore back, so I better sit down here. Anyway, the 51 Ferguson we've had for about 10 years. And it's a great old tractor. We've used it for cutting wood and splitting wood. I had the hydraulics hooked up to it at one time and used the same splitter on it that I'm using on the Case 224 garden tractor. But the Ferguson had lots of hydraulic pressure to split anything you wanted, but the hydraulic flow was so slow that the cycle time on the splitter was about 4 days. Holy cats, it was slow. Anyway, it's a great old tractor. We also got a V snow blower or snow thrower. I don't know what you would call it. Anyway, you drag it behind the tractor, and the V shape drags all the snow into the impeller and throws it out. So we've had that on the Ferguson. And what else? We have a saw bench for it, which operates on the Ford too. And we have a 2-sod plow for it. We have a 7-foot rear blade for it. So the Ferguson gets well used through the seasons. It doesn't get used a lot, but I mean it's a full year-round use type tractor. Now the little Ford that my son has may take some of that away from it, but anyway, that's the way it is. So there we are. That's a little bit of an overview of what I have for equipment here. All these tractors and the ones at my son's, there's other attachments, there's mower decks, and there's all jumps of stuff that we have for them, and homemade stuff that I made. Anyway, so that's a little overview of everything. I kind of think that I think Gary at Tractor Talk with Gary asked me one time to do a video on that, on all the tractors. So there we go, Gary. I think that's kind of what you were looking for, although I thought it would take a lot longer, because if I was over at my son's, yes, I'd be able to go around and show more stuff. It would certainly take a lot longer. So I'm kind of running to my limit here. I tried doing a video a little while ago, and it told me I couldn't go over 30 minutes. So that's kind of a first. But anyway, I'm at 29 minutes and some, so I better cut her off at that. So we leave you thinking with this here now. Let's look at this cab here. And I got a little something in the mail today too. So we'll have a sticker posting here soon. All right, have a good day before I get timed out here.